Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Canadian teenager Victoria Mboko upsets top-seeded Coco Gauff to reach Montreal quarterfinals. Montreal AP. Canadian teenager Victoria Mboko upset top-seeded Coco Gauff 6-1, 6-4 on Saturday night to reach the National Bank Open quarterfinals. "Your support was incredible," Mboko told the crowd in French after a chorus of "Olé, olé, olé" chants echoed around the venue. "I'm really happy to win today. It's incredible. I'm so happy to beat such a great champion." Gauff dropped to 2-3 since winning the French Open. She followed the major victory with opening losses in Berlin and Wimbledon, then overcame double fault problems to win 2 3-set matches in Montreal. Gauff had 5 double faults Saturday after having 23 in her opener against Danielle Collins and 14 against Veronika Kudermetova. "She's playing high-level tennis." Gauff said, "I think that's what showed today. I think she was the better player." The 18-year-old Mboko, ranked 85th in the world, finished off the 21-year-old Gauff, who had 24 unforced errors, in 1 hour, 2 minutes. "When I was up 5-4, the crowd started cheering even louder, and everything got super noisy," Mboko said. "I used that as more fuel for myself and to pump myself up a little bit more. I just used the crowd to my advantage as much as I could." Mboko will face Jessica Buzas Monero of Spain, a 7-5, 6-1, 6-2 winner over Lin Ju of China in a rain-interrupted match that ended just before midnight. In Rome in May, Gauff rallied to beat Mboko 3-6, 6-2, 6-1. "I was actually really thinking about it a lot during the match," Mboko said. "I had flashbacks to when I played her in Rome a little bit. I just remember when she came out playing even better and stepped it up a bit better. Wanted to step my game up a little bit more and make sure I matched whatever she was producing, and I wanted to stay right there with her." Earlier, 24th-seeded Marta Kostyuk of Ukraine and 9th-seeded Elena Rybakina of Kazakhstan set up a quarterfinal match. Kostyuk beat McCartney Kessler of the United States 5-7, 6-3, 6-3, and Rybakina topped Diana Yastremska of Ukraine 5-7, 6-2, 7-5. The breakpoint, Victoria Mboko's Montreal Miracle. The crowd at Montreal's IGA Stadium was still buzzing as the final ball sailed past Coco Gauff's outstretched racket and kissed the sideline. Game. Set. Match. Victoria Mboko. A moment of silence, almost like disbelief, swept over the packed stadium before it erupted into cheers, gasps, and stunned applause. Cameras zoomed in on the teenager from Ontario, her chest heaving, eyes wide with a mixture of exhaustion and disbelief. A tear traced the edge of her cheek before she even realized she was crying. She had done it. She had just defeated the world number 3, the reigning U.S. Open champion, the global tennis phenom, the top seed, in her home country. Not just defeated her, outplayed her, and she was only 17. 12 hours earlier, Victoria Mboko stood in front of the mirror in the locker room, tying back her braids for the 3rd time. Her fingers trembled slightly. It wasn't the physical act of playing golf that unsettled her. It was the idea of facing someone whose posters once hung in her bedroom. She remembered watching Coco win the 2019 Wimbledon match at age 15 and feeling something shift inside her, a knowing, like, that could be me. Now, 5 years later, it was her. The underdog. The challenger. The Canadian girl no one really expected to make it past the 2nd round, let alone stand on center court in Montreal, facing the number 1 seed. "Vic," her coach, Marcus Delaney, called out gently. "She's good. But so are you." She nodded. "I know." But inside, a storm of nerves brewed. She wasn't just playing a tennis match. She was facing a symbol, not only of excellence, but of what she could one day become, or fail to become. Center court, afternoon. The sun shimmered above the court, and the crowd was alive with summer energy. Pockets of Canadian flags waved alongside the occasional star-spangled banner. Gauff walked in with the confident ease of someone who'd been here before. She nodded to the crowd, cool and composed. Victoria followed, head high, face unreadable, though her heart pounded like a drum inside her chest. From the first rally, It was clear this wasn't going to be a routine match. Gauff's trademark power and athleticism were on full display, but Victoria countered with something different: variety. A slice here, a drop shot there, then suddenly an explosive forehand down the line. She wasn't just playing Coco Gauff. She was solving her. By the time the first set ended 6-4 in Mboko's favor, murmurs of surprise were spreading through the stands. The commentators, initially focused on Gauff's path to the final, now pivoted with urgency. "She's playing fearless," one analyst said. "No," the other corrected. "She's playing free." Between sets, Victoria sat down, towel draped over her shoulders, blocking out the noise. Her thoughts flickered, memories of early morning practices at the National Training Center, the years of eating lunch in the car between homeschool lessons and drills, the injuries, the missed dances, the social media taunts about being not ready yet. She'd once overheard someone say she'd always live in the shadow of Bianca Andreescu, that there was no room for another Canadian tennis prodigy. But she didn't need to be the next anyone. She needed to be the first Victoria Mboko. She stood as the umpire called time. Second set, tension peaks. Coco wasn't going down quietly. With the poise of a champion, Gauff regrouped, adjusted her footwork, and came out firing. She broke Mboko's serve early and surged to a 4-1 lead. The crowd, sympathetic to their hometown hopeful, was momentarily quiet. This was where the fairy tale usually ends. The young underdog dazzles for a while, then the seasoned star reclaims the stage. But not today. Mboko dug in. A diving volley here. A lunging backhand return there. She clawed her way back, saving breakpoints with angles that defied geometry. When she tied it 4-4, Gauff's expression shifted, not panic, but concern. Real, grounded concern. From there, every game was a war. Both players fought like gladiators, full-stretch rallies, grunts of effort, fist pumps, stares. The crowd was hypnotized. At 6-5, on Gauff's serve, Victoria earned her first match point. She stepped up, exhaled, and waited. The rally stretched 18 shots, a dance of power and patience. Then, Gauff sent a forehand cross-court, too wide. Out. A new name, a new star. As Victoria approached the net, she paused for a split second. Her racket hung loosely in her hand, as if unsure what to do next. She looked up at the crowd, at the Canadian flags, at the sky, and let the moment crash over her like a wave. Gauff, ever graceful, met her at the net with a nod and a brief smile. "That was big," she said quietly. "Thanks," Victoria whispered. "You've always been the reason I believed I could do this." Later, during her on-court interview, Mboko stood with a microphone in hand, still visibly shaking. Her voice cracked slightly, but she didn't shy away from it. "I used to watch Coco on TV when I was 12, she said. "She inspired me. And today, I had to convince myself that I belonged here, not just on this court, but in this moment." The crowd rose for a standing ovation. Some chanted her name. Others just stared, smiling in wonder. A new chapter in Canadian tennis was unfolding. Not one written by legends of the past, but by a bold teenager rewriting expectations in real time. Later that night, the city lights of Montreal flickered below her hotel balcony. She sat with her phone in hand, hundreds of messages pouring in, congratulatory texts from other Canadian players, tweets from Billie Jean King, Venus Williams, even Drake. She scrolled past them all and landed on one simple text from her grandmother. "You've always been a warrior." Tonight, the world saw it too. The aftermath. The tennis world buzzed for days. ESPN called it the upset of the year. TSN aired a feature titled Mboko Mania Begins. Journalists dissected her playing style, her maturity, her calm under pressure. But to Victoria, the victory was more than just a career breakthrough. It was a reclamation of years of invisible work, of belief in herself when no one else did, of the right to belong, not just in Canada's tennis narrative, but on the world stage. Final words. A week later, a little girl in Brampton, racket too big for her hand, taped a picture of Victoria Mboko to her bedroom wall, right next to the one of Coco Gauff.